And welcome to the Love Shack
with Felix and the Dicer.
It's good to be with you this week.
Yes, it
this
is.
Fine Tuesday evening.
Mm-hmm.
So, this week, let's just get down to business.
Gritty.
You know, our top breakup songs for this week. It's Incomplete by the Backstreet Boys versus A Little Too Not Over You. And so be sure to go vote, call in, vote on our Facebook page. Our Facebook page is www.facebook.com/The Love Shack with Felix and the Dicer. And Felix, would you like to give us the number that we can call?
Absolutely. Yes, that's 435-283-7007. Again, that is 435-283-7007. We're really stressing that number because we're thinking you guys should call in right now and just vote between the two because,
Yes.
It's a big deal.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Top breakup song of the semester.
Exactly. We're narrowing it down for you people. I mean, we're only helping you out here, really.
Exactly. So vote.
All right. Anyway, we're going to be playing Incomplete for you first, and then A Little Too Not Over You right after that. So here you go, and keep listening to the... Oh, we forgot to say it's KAGJ FM from...
Yeah, it is.
Whoops, top of the hour. You're listening to The Cage, 88.9. All right, that was A Little Too Not Over You by David Archuleta.
Good stuff.
And remember, please vote for top love song, or breakup song. I was doing so well.
Yeah.
Top breakup song of the week, and it's going to be Incomplete versus A Little Too Not Over You.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I don't know about any of you listeners out there, but, you know, there was kind of a big LDS event this past weekend. It's General Conference, where we basically just... You know, we listen to what our church leaders have to say about certain topics. They'll pick a topic and give talks on it to all church members everywhere. Mm-hmm. So that's basically a rundown of General Conference for those who don't know what it is. And there was a big event that happened this last week. And I know everyone's familiar with missionaries, Mormon missionaries, whether you're Mormon or not. Because they're pretty dominant. You know, you'll hear people be like, "Oh, those missionaries, they came over again."
Riding on their bikes, wearing their white shirts, and
Well, there was, you know, our prophet announced that guys can go when they're 18 now, and girls can go when they're 19 on missions, which is a jump from 19 for guys and 21 for girls. And so this next topic we're going to talk about is waiting for missionaries.
because and I know that, you know, that seems like it would be religious, but the truth of it is just that change in Utah, where that is a dominant religion, that changes dating significantly. It does for a lot of people. And not only that, and not just dating, but just for this age range, pretty much everything. I know that certain colleges are worried about their freshmen coming in this next year because of the age change.
There's not going to be any 18-year-old guys now, and then sophomore girls will be going on their missions. You know?
So
it's a general, or, you know, I don't know what I was...
It is a
genuine
concern.
concern.
It is a genuine
there we
concern.
Go, not general.
So, and as far as dating's concerned, it's, I don't know, it's changes things. I know that the way that I see it, I have friends that have already left, and if someone my age who they know that say they were dating, and they've been waiting for them decide to go on a mission, that extends that time frame where you're having that long distance relationship. And then there's also like the whole debate about, well, should I go? I have this person, you know, here that I'm waiting to come back, and like, I don't know, it's just a difficult situation it really alters dating, where there's going to be a lot of girls who maybe decide, okay, well, now that I don't have to wait till I'm 21 to go on a mission, a lot of girls might go when they're 19, and then these guys are going to come home and they'll be 18-year-old girls that they can date, and that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to change dating significantly on this college level.
Oh, yeah. And, like, we had these topics. We've had a list of topics that we've wanted to talk about this semester, and this was one of them. But it totally changed, like, completely. You know, because before we were like, oh, well, here's what you can do with the guys, because it's usually girls that are waiting for their missionaries. You know, because, you know, it's Snow. We have, usually it's 18 to 20-year-old girls here. And so they usually have missionaries out. But now it's going to be, 19, plus girls. Well, 19-year-old or above, I should say. I'm thinking numbers in my head. Anyway, but, that are going to be going on their missions. So, it's going to be different for them as well. It's going to be almost like they're going to be in the guy's position as well for dating.
Well, I know. I mean, I'm just going to say it. I have friends that I'm writing on their missions, and I miss them. I miss my friends, and I want to see them. And if I were to go, some of them you have special interest in. I mean, you're just going to.
Yeah.
Because they're your friends, and that's what happens when you become good friends. You start having some special interest. And the thing is that if they were to come back and I was on my mission, or someone in my situation was on theirs, I know the way that I'd feel is like, oh gosh, what if they're married when I get back? Which is exactly what a lot of them are probably thinking. So
that's true. That's true.
It's like the perspectives flipped. I don't know.
But it's almost like when you're a girl, you're like, yeah, I have control over the situation. If I want to date, I can go date. But now you're going to be on the mission, and it's like you have no control if they're going to go date or not. Like, they can date whoever they please, and they probably will, seeing that they're RMs. They can go get married now.
Yep.
So
they'll come back and they have 50 kids.
It's hard for having a relationship with, like, any missionary, whether it's, like, just a friend or more, because it is a long-distance relationship. But it's more than just that, because you can't call them all the time. You can't Skype them or text them. You're writing letters or emails if you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
But there are a lot of missionaries I know that are like, I can only email my family, so just look for the updates from my mom. She'll send them out. But other than that, please don't email me. Send me letters, So if you're lucky, you get an email, and that's always great.
I know. I'm jealous of people who can do that. But I don't know. The way that I feel, I know whenever I'm writing my friends that are gone, I feel like it's like texting, but you have to wait like 3 weeks to get a response.
It's true, though. Except longer.
Like, insanely longer.
Instead of, like, sending, 7 pages max, 160 characters. I know that's how it is on my phone. But
I didn't know that about my phone, but okay.
I just know that because I sent out mass texts a lot, and they would be really long. Anyway, so we'll move on. And so I understand there are girls out there, and they're like, we're in love. A lot of the times I'm sure that's the case. But even if you're, in love, infatuated with them, you need to support them as a missionary, write them as a friend, because they don't need to worry about girls back home, or if guys are listening to this and they have a girl missionary out, like,
vice versa.
Yeah. Everything that we say is the same for guys, who have sister missionaries. But we're just saying this for girls, since girls are the ones who
typically
are the ones waiting. So I know that there was this one kid in my ward, though. Okay. He met this girl recently, or not recently, soon after he got his call. Okay. And, they started dating, like, they were hardcore dating almost, And they, he goes on his mission, and she just could not let him go. She could not let him be on a mission. He ended up buying a cell phone, which is against mission rules. Texting her, calling her at late hours of the night. And, he got kicked off of his mission because he wasn't following certain mission rules. And, it's not ever going to be to that extreme, but that shows how much of an impact girls have on guys' lives. Because she couldn't handle him being away, he broke mission rules instead of her being supportive and saying, I'm glad you're out. It's always, I miss you, come back, I love you, that type of thing. Let's get married. They ended up getting married, not in the temple, thank goodness, because that wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he broke several rules. So we'll just say that. But anyway, along with that, they're out serving their church, and, in that process, whoa, I'm going British here.
In that
process, they grow up, though.
Well, and I think it's that way a lot of the time in different situations as well, like even with military.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? I mean, I can understand if you're married and you have that kind of stuff, then tell them they need that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just that with missionaries, there's such strict rules with the outside world and being able to communicate with people. So when you have friends that are out in the mission field, you need to support that if that's what they're wanting to do.
Exactly. Support it. Just, I don't know what I was going to say along with that, but you just respect it. That's what I was going for. You need to be sure to respect it.
Because they're trying to grow, and it's stunning their growth if you don't.
Yeah, and we're not saying that having a missionary out and waiting for them is a bad thing, because I totally respect people who do that. Like, I think that takes a lot of patience and a lot of time, you know? And so I respect it. It's not a bad thing, but you just need to make sure that they know what they're doing out there, you know? Make sure that they know what they're doing, have their head in the games, and, you know, while they're out serving,
you keep your head in the game.
Yeah, you know, go around and date, because, you know, sometimes dating other people will help solidify what you're doing, you know, like, you know, maybe it's a good thing that you're waiting for them. Maybe that's the person you want to be with.
Well, and I think another thing is, I've had experiences with my friends that have left on missions, where I've dated other people or I've gotten to know other guys while they've been gone. And I start to realize, you know what? These specific people that I know are out and they're serving their mission, and they have certain qualities that I need. Because you're more able to see those qualities by comparison to the other people that you're dating.
Exactly.
So I don't know. But so it's not bad. I think it's a, you know, good thing. It just depends on the person and the circumstance. But
exactly.
It's just trippy because of this new change, because it's really going to change a lot of things as far as dating is concerned in college.
Yeah, it's going to change
especially
a lot.
In like a college town and a junior college town at that, because that's
no kidding, because you know, that's the age range right there. You know, so there's going to be, I know there are a lot of girls leaving after this semester. Going to, you know, prepare to serve missions. So guys, you better go date them before they leave. Maybe you change their minds.
Change their minds.
Go date them now. Anyway, that's all we really have to say about that. So we're going to start our next playlist by starting off with I Don't Want to Be With, or by Gavin DeGraw. I can't speak right now. And after that, we have Such Great Heights by the Postal Service. Remember to call in to the cage, vote for the top breakup song of the week.
And again, that number is going to be 435-283-7007. Hey guys, and that was Sarah Bareilles, Love Song. I just love her. I love Sarah Bareilles. She is one of my very favorites.
We love her.
And we actually have another topic, like always, that we're going to be talking about. And this one is actually something that I know I can empathize with to a certain degree.
I can't.
I know.
But I do have a quote for it.
Yes.
Oh, wait. You go ahead. Finish introducing it.
Okay. I'll say what it is, and then you can do your quote. How does that sound?
Sorry. I forgot we didn't introduce it, so I was like going to just jump right in.
Oh, she's just so excited.
I am.
Oh, gosh.
So excited.
Well, the whole segment for this one is pretty much falling for somebody while in a relationship, or vice versa, falling for somebody who is in a relationship. And your quote, please.
Okay. Thank you. So my quote is, or I don't know if it's the exact quote. We'll just say it's a thought, okay? My thought is, if you fall for the second person, then you need to go for them. Because if you truly loved the first person that you were in the relationship with, then you wouldn't have fallen in love with the second person. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you're in love with person number one. And then person number two comes along and you're like, I love them. See, and you're like, oh, which one should I choose? One or two? Well, choose two, because if you loved person number one, I feel like you wouldn't even look at number two, you know?
Yes, and I do agree with that to a degree. It depends on how deep, I believe, the relationship is.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true.
And also weighing pros and cons, and that knowing if that second person, do you really love them? Like, do you have that deep connection with them that you have with that other person? I mean, that's deeper than just infatuation, because I mean, you could get hyped up about something that's new and exciting, but at the same time, like, which in the end is going to mean more. And yeah, if that second person, if that's making you turn your head and you're like, do you know what? This is what I think, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need, then go for it. But it's very circumstantial, but I do agree with that as well. So it just depends on the circumstance, I think. But I do agree with that as well.
I don't know. Just like along with that, I feel like, you know, if that does happen and you feel like you want to go with person number 2, you need to break up with them. Like with person number 1.
Do you have any experience with this?
I don't really. I do.
I know, that's why I'd asked.
Why do you do this to me? I was on the opposite end.
Okay, go.
Okay, so basically, it was my senior year in high school, okay? And there was this kid. His name is Dan. Anyway, so Dan and I, we kind of had a thing. Like, we had a madrigal retreat because we were in a chamber choir at my high school. We called it madrigals. I know it's known differently in different high schools, but anyway. So we had a thing, and he'd always, like, try to kiss me, and I'm like, no, you have a girlfriend, that's weird. Like, no, that's bad. And he's like, okay, well, I need to break up with my girlfriend anyway, because, you know, she's not very good to me or anything. You know, I'm like, yeah, you really do, because she was mean to him. Like, it was horrible. Like, he would tell me some of the things that she would say, and I'm like, why is she saying those things? That's so rude.
Sweet little naive girl.
I know, right? And so anyway, yeah, he broke up with her. We dated for like 2 weeks maybe. And then sooner or later I found out, you know, he stopped talking to me and I found out that he was back with his girlfriend. Mm-hmm. Super awkward. But we cleared the air, you know. Things are okay between us now. Mm-hmm. I just wrote him on his mission like last week.
Look at that.
So, you know, things are good.
On good terms.
But I wasn't happy at the time. I was like, seriously? That's stupid. That was a stupid move to make, you know?
And something that you brought up earlier in these notes, it says it hurts more when you're stringing them along.
Yeah.
So.
And he kind of did that with both of us, because with his girlfriend, I don't even think he really, like, officially broke up with her, but, like, it's probably more like, we need to take a break. Okay, when you break up with someone, you never say we need to take a break unless you mean it. Like, we just need to spend some time away from each other. Because, yeah, people will take it as that. And you're like, okay, I broke up with them. No, you didn't. Mm-hmm. You did not resolve anything. I don't know. I just feel very strongly, if you're going to break up with them, you need to just tell the person. Be blunt with them. Because that way they know what they can improve on. So, like, if it just so happens that you fall in love with another person, you need to tell them, you know, sorry. It's going to hurt for them, but, you know, it will be better in the long run. Sorry, I like someone else. You know, and that way they know it's not like, well, do they not like this about me?
Yeah.
You know, and almost paranoid about it.
Well, sometimes it's best just to be open and honest.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's easier to clear the air that way.
It's true.
Because people aren't all bad, and everyone's going to have reasons for their motives.
Right.
And the truth of it is if you just have a little bit of tact in how you're doing things, and just consideration for that other person, it doesn't have to be as rough as you make it.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can get the point across to somebody while having tact and just being kind about it. And I think that a lot of people, when they're breaking up because of, you know, I like somebody else or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
they're too scared because they're like, this is going to be harsh. Where you could put it kinder.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I don't know. On the other hand, though, what were you going to say?
Oh, no, please continue.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay. On the other hand, there is the opposite end of the spectrum, which I can completely understand on that end, where you end up falling for somebody who is in a relationship.
Right.
That is a tough situation as well. I know this. I know girls that I've seen who continually pursue those who are in a relationship, you know, and it does damage to themselves. Like, that's what it does. And I I can understand where it's like, oh, they're not treating them good. I would treat them so much better. And like all that junk. I understand that. I have been in those shoes multiple times. As we know, the dicer here is the babe.
Oh, don't even say that.
And then Felix here is the bud. And that's fine. But the thing is I'm just saying I can understand that situation where, you know, you're like, oh, I could treat them better and, you know, they should date me instead. But the truth of it is that when you like somebody who is in a relationship with somebody else, you need to respect those boundaries.
Oh, absolutely.
You need to respect those boundaries because the truth of it is that while they're in a relationship, you don't want to be a homewrecker. Like, let's just be honest.
Don't be that person.
No, and, okay, I believe in karma. I just do. I mean, what goes around comes around. And if you're going to be treating people a certain way, their girlfriend or their boyfriend, for example, you know, that person that you like.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, it's okay. You know, I really like them. And I know that they don't, you know, they're not always the kindest to them. Or they don't do this. Or, you know. And you rationalize that behavior where you're crossing those lines. Do you know what? Just think to yourself, if you were in a relationship with somebody, would you really want somebody to be doing that to you? Yeah. I mean, really, it's common courtesy. And like I said, frankly, I've hardly ever been in that situation. Like, I go on lots of dates. There's a reason why I'm a date doctor. I get people. But when it comes to being in a relationship, I have honestly been on that end of the spectrum where you're falling for somebody that's in a relationship way more than the other. And do you know what? You just have to know that you're dealing with people and believe that, you know, what goes around comes around, and you need to treat people the way that you want to be treated.
Right.
So,
and I don't know. The way I see things, sorry, I can't talk today, apparently. You know, I had my progress earlier.
Oh, you're
now
great.
I'm saying say instead of see. Anyway, the way I see things is you have two options when this comes around. If you end up liking someone in a relationship, or if you're in the relationship and you end up liking someone else, you can either, you know, well, actually, this is more for the people who like someone in a relationship.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I lied to you. But you can wait it out if things are looking rough in the relationship, you know. Like, for my story, for example, you know, I was like, hey, your girlfriend's treating you horribly. You deserve better than this. Break up with her, and then you can date me. I'm not going to let you cheat on your girlfriend, you know. So you can do that, or you can try to convince yourself not to like them if you feel like that's going to be best for your relationship with them.
and sometimes that is what's best.
Yeah, and you never know what's going to happen with that. Like, you may just gain a really good friend after that. Like,
Really?
He may come back around, he or she, I should say, may come back around and be like, you know what, they liked me one time. Maybe I should like them now that I'm not in a relationship.
Which, you know, it's the dating game. That's what it is. And it's hard and it's tough and it has those quick changes and turns and everything that you're not going to expect.
Right.
But just be, you know, I don't know, as far as convincing yourself not to like anyone, I had a friend actually that I once told him, I was like, so I like you a lot. I don't know what to do about it. Like, I don't know if that's weird for you. Just let me know. Should I, like, convince myself not to? Because you're, like, one of my best friends. You know, tried to be chill about it. And something that he told me, he was just like, Mandy, Felix, never convince yourself not to like somebody.
We were doing so well.
I know. But I'm just saying, because the thing is like you said, you never know what may or may not happen.
Right.
But at the same time, just analyze the situation that you're in. Because I know I always say that it's very, very circumstantial, but that's because it is. I mean, dating is going to be different. Different scenarios for different people, different personalities, different, you know how that is. So, right. I don't know. But that's pretty much it. So, just know what you're dealing with. And if you're falling for somebody that's in a relationship, respect those boundaries. Choose those options that Dicer has spoken about. And if you are falling for somebody while you're in a relationship, you figure it out. Because, yeah.
It gets messy pretty fast, we'll be honest.
It's dating. Dating's messy.
It is. We have a love-hate relationship with it, but that's okay.
It's true.
All right. Well, we have kind of a retro playlist coming up, actually. One of the first songs we're going to play for you is I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston. Mm-hmm. Then Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi. And Big Yellow Taxi by Counting Crows. And then we'll tell you what the fourth song is when the time comes, but I feel like announcing 4 songs in a row, that will just...
Overwhelming.
Exactly. I don't want to overwhelm you guys with all this awesome music. It will get you too excited.
Overwhelmed. Be overwhelmed.
Anyway, here's some music for you guys. Again, that was Blink-182 for States, dedicated to Maria.
You lucky woman,
Maria. Anyway, I just felt like saying that 2 more times.
I almost broke into song from West Side Story, but it's not time for that yet, because in about an hour, you're going to have Musical Mania. So
wow, that was nice.
I know.
Promoting the show after us.
Dang straight I am. Anyways, so back to our show, The Love Shack with Felix and the Dicer, just in case you weren't tuning in. That is what you were listening to. Well, we have our next segment, and we're going to be talking about timing. And this segment, I don't know, it's trippy. Because things either work out really, really well with timing, or it just never seems to work out for you. Like, I know, for me, when, we were talking about this earlier, the first thing that I thought of was back in middle school. My dear friend, Tony. Tony. And he liked me, like, all through middle school. And, I'm a babe, let's be honest. Why wouldn't you? That was Felix's cocky moment of the night.
And that was my silence agreeing with it.
And so, all through middle school. And then once he stops liking me, I start liking him in high school. Didn't work out. He's my good friend, but it didn't work out. Why is that? Because timing was off.
And timing is seriously, it's everything in a relationship.
Big deal.
Because you can feel a certain way about someone at one moment, but they're into someone else at the other moment. Like what you were talking about with Tony. Tony. You just don't get to say that name very often. So when you do say it, it's like you have to say it multiple times.
It sounds like a mobster name. Like
Yo, Tony.
Giuseppe.
I don't know any other names you can use.
Al Capone.
Yeah, I was going to say Al.
Anyways.
I don't know. It's just, there's sometimes, like we talked earlier about this kid in my ward, how, he's had a relationship with someone right after he got his mission call. The timing was horrible for that because when you have your mission call, you really shouldn't be looking for dating prospects, Yeah,
it's true.
You can date. I'm not saying don't date, just the timing was horrible.
Yeah.
So, what do you do if the timing's not right, though? If you feel strongly you should wait, then go ahead and wait for them. Mm-hmm. But here's what I think about it. Sometimes, like, the problem with waiting is you don't know if you're waiting for someone or if you're waiting for nothing. Because what if it never happens? What if they never like you back? What if...
I wrote a song about this once.
Did you now?
Yep, and...
Felix is a singer-songwriter.
But I'm not. Anyways, I did. And in this song, I remember when I was writing it, I was in this situation. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where you're like, well, is it even worth waiting for this? And it's kind of like, is there something there to wait for at all? You know what I mean? And I don't know. I just know that I've been in that situation a ton. Yeah. And for me personally, I know that I can use it as a safety net.
Yeah, and I bet a lot of people do that.
Like, kind of like, oh, well, the timing's not right. I don't feel like I should right now. Maybe some other time. But the thing is that, again, open and honest when it comes to relationships and stuff, being like, hey, do you know what? I like you. Sorry, I always say that. That sounds really dumb probably, but I feel like it's the most chill way to tell somebody that's your friend that you like them. Just being like, do you know what? You're way great, and I'm starting to really like you, and I just want to get an idea of what you think about that. should I convince myself not to? I mean, because I don't want to set myself up. Because, I mean, I'm capable of convincing myself not to. But just let me know, because I don't want to feel like a stupid moron just pursuing when it's for nothing.
Oh my gosh, I have a story about this.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
She just face palmed herself.
I did. So anyway, over the summer I liked this kid. And, well, actually, no, I liked him at the beginning of the school year. No, I'm mixing this all up. Okay, I met him at the beginning of the school year. I didn't like him till halfway through our second semester here together. And I was like, no, the timing's off. I shouldn't like him. So I convinced myself not to like him, right? So after I convinced myself not to like him, I, come back to Ephraim over the summer. And all of a sudden I like him again.
Oh, this story.
Yes, this story. So I tell him that I like him. And even in that whole spiel, I kind of word vomited. And I was like, so I really like you a lot. And I don't really care if you like me back or not. I just want to know if I should like you or if I should not like you. Anyway, I think I have to go. Yeah, it was really like that.
But do you have any regrets about saying it?
Honestly, no. Because right after that, I was like, I don't really like him anymore.
Well, I think
that was nice to get out of the way.
That's honestly, you know what I mean? I think it helps decipher what you're really thinking. Because all honesty, you can be infatuated a ton, and then you're like, I really like you. And then if they respond, really? I like you too so much. You're like, yeah. I don't like you anymore. That was too easy. That shouldn't be the mentality, but I think that's the mentality for a lot of people. And so, I don't know.
Anyway, but I was going back with timing. We'll connect this all together.
Yes, we will.
But the timing was just off because he's a local and I'm from Sandy. So it's 2 hours away. What can we even do about that? And I was aware of this, but I figured I just had to get it out there. And it was a good thing I did, or else I would have gone my whole summer, just being like, oh, I like him so much. Yeah. And instead, I got that out there. I got it off my chest. And I was done.
You're content.
Exactly.
I don't know. I think it helps just vocalizing it and being open and honest.
Yeah. It's true, though.
I just realized something. You said that they were locals, so now all the listeners are going to be going to all the locals.
Did you date the dicer?
Did you date the dicer? Did you like the dicer at any point?
No, I don't think that kid even knows what my radio name is.
Really?
So, I mean, my real name, because it is my real name, the dicer.
On your birth certificate.
Yes, exactly. So, anyway, and then there's the question, should I still date other people if the timing's not right with the person that I like?
Uh-huh. Yes, definitely. Hands down.
Exactly.
Do it.
That's how I feel, because we talked about this a little bit earlier, too. But when you date someone else, it almost solidifies if you should keep waiting for that person or if you should just move on, because you take the things that you like in that person and you find out, what you liked about them, and then you find things that you liked about this person that you date. That's the beauty about dating. There's always something new you can learn. Mm-hmm. There's always something that you can, I don't know, almost, what am I looking for? Expand on?
Yeah. Well, I know, as we know, I've got lots of very, very, very good guy friends who are not with me right now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can't be with them or figure out, oh my gosh, pursue a relationship or anything like that. But at the same time, by dating other people and interacting with other guys, I'm able to pick out certain things and be like, do you know what? I didn't know this before. I didn't realize this before, but I need that quality that that person has. And it solidifies, oh yeah, I do need to keep waiting for that. So,
yeah.
I don't know. It does. It solidifies, so. I don't know, but that's some stuff about timing.
Yep, that's what we have to say about it. If you have any other questions, feel free to call in. Our number is 435-283-7007. And while you're at it, vote for the top breakup song.
Breakup song of the
top
semester.
Top breakup song. That's what we have to rename it. La breakup.
La breakup. It's the breakup song.
It's French, you guys. Don't even judge.
But yes, and that's going to be David Archuleta, Little Too Not Over You, versus Incomplete by Backstreet Boys. So, go vote.
Yep. Next, we're going to be playing The Girl by City and Color. And just a fun fact, I heard this. I'm not sure if it's true. I tried to Wikipedia it just barely. That's almost like Googling. It's almost a verb. Wikipedia it. Go Wikipedia things.
There you go.
But it didn't come up. But I heard that the lead singer of this band, City and Color, is also the same as the band Asking Alexandria, which is very interesting because they're two completely different styles. Just listen and you'll find out. Anyway, keep listening to the Cage 88.9. That was Ocean Avenue by Yellow Card. Kind of a flashback almost. I remember they were big in middle school. I like that song though.
That's
Fun
good.
fact.
We have an interesting topic.
It's more kind of like one of those novelty topics.
Yeah.
Because the title of it is relationships with inanimate objects. Like things that aren't alive.
Which sounds almost weird.
But it happens.
It does.
It happens. I remember a while ago on MSN or something weird, you know? Not that MSN is weird, actually. But it said, like, a guy got married to his car.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand why you'd want to be in a relationship with a car instead of a human. Because you're not sure the car's never going to break up with you or, you know,
hurt your feelings.
Hurt you, tell you to get off your lazy butt and go get a job or whatever.
But they also can't cuddle.
It's true.
Or snuggle or smooch.
Yeah, and I think that's just so weird. Like, why in the world would you want to do that? It's almost like, what's his
Ferris
face?
Bueller's
You know
Day
what I'm
Off.
talking
Yeah,
about.
because once you said that, I thought of Cameron's dad from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. How he talks about, you know, he always constantly is like freaking, you know, polishing his car with a diaper instead of talking to his son or his wife. You know what I mean? And so it's like, you know, Cameron's daddy.
And
That's what I thought of.
It's a real thing. I mean, like, I had a friend on Facebook, okay? Actually, we were friends in real life.
Oh, that's
Let's
good.
clarify, okay? We were friends in real life, but on Facebook, he puts that he's in a relationship. So I text him, and I'm like, what? You know, like, what girl wants to be in a relationship with you?
That's harsh.
He was a crazy kid.
It's because he's in a
But
relationship.
he was in a relationship with his guitar.
That makes sense
Okay.
why you would say that.
Yeah, he was like, oh yeah, her name is, I can't remember what the name of it was. It was almost like, it was like Sadie Rose, something like that. And I was like, what in the world? What would, yeah, he was like, yeah, I'm in a relationship. Her name's Sadie Rose, whatever. And I'm like, okay, who is it? You know, and
Was he kidding?
no, it was
was-
legitimate. His picture, his profile picture was of him with his guitar, you know, up by his face, and he's making like this cute little smiling face, you know, like almost something you would do in like an engagement
even a little
picture.
bit.
I don't know, but
I
he
hope
was
so.
he was a big musician. He loved his guitar. He loved it.
Because I'm just thinking, I'm like, well, because I've heard this story before, but like, he wasn't kidding.
I'm not sure if he was. I could text him and be like, hey, were you kidding or not about that relationship thing? But for the sake of this topic, he wasn't kidding.
This is real life.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I think it's a huge issue. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. And,
Well, it's almost blown out of proportion at that point.
well, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the time also that this seems like a stupid little topic, relationships with inanimate objects. I can't even say that word. I apologize.
Inanimate.
Inanimate. Did I say it?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't even know if I say it right, actually. That's just how I say it.
But just having relationships with like objects and not people, I mean, I think that that's a bigger issue than it seems to be. I mean, this might sound dumb. I think it probably sounds dumb, but it's not necessarily that you're in a relationship with something, but it's like it's replacing the human relationships
Yeah.
that you would be having with other people with, for example, video games or money or movies or work. Like when you're taking something that is just material and your focus and your motives and all the things that your goals and everything are surrounded around is around that rather than people. That sounds
Yeah.
dumb, but you know what I mean? Like, because there's people that I know of where it's like you go home and you watch movies all
Right.
the time, and your life is these movies, and you just love them, and great, all power to you. That's awesome, but when it's replacing that social interaction, I think that that's where it kind of gets to be okay. You know what I mean?
Right. And those are called anti-socialites, kids.
Yes, they
I just made that
are.
up. I'm good.
You are way good. So smart, the dicer.
I try. I try. But yeah, I feel like there are people that really get intense about all these things, like video games. You hear about people pushing away like kids and stuff, like, because I've heard of like, relationships where like the guy will get so into a video game, a kid walks in front of him and he just gets like mad because that's his relationship. It's with a video game. So I don't know. Just make sure you're not that person. Don't be that person. That's my key phrase lately. I love saying that.
I kind of caught on, obviously. I could say it with you simultaneously. Yes. Same tone and everything.
But that's all we have to say about it, because it really was kind of just like a novelty thing.
Yeah, it was.
Talk about it to talk about it. But we're going to be playing Bittersweet by Spencer Schmidt up next. This is John Schmidt's son.
I know. I love this
He's
song.
a good-looking kid.
And he is... just listen to his voice, too. It's kind of a double whammy here.
It's true. Anyway, keep listening to the KAGJ 88.9, and we're going to be announcing our top breakup song of the semester right after this. All right, that was Banana Pancakes by Jack Johnson. Great song. I was listening to that album this last week, and I was like, I like this song.
I just like Jack
I just
Johnson.
want it on our playlist, so I put it on.
Well
like magic.
done.
Anyway, I made a minor mistake earlier. I said we were going to be announcing the top breakup song of the semester, or I might have said a love song on accident, but I was pretty positive it was breakup. Anyway,
We'll find
it's
out.
of the week. Breakup song of the week.
The semester's an even bigger deal.
It's
like, that's
true.
monumental. An extravaganza, even.
I know, there's usually parties for it.
Let's throw a party for it.
We will.
You guys are all invited.
Anyway, drum roll. Top Love's breakup song of the week is Incomplete by Backstreet Boys.
Yay!
Yay! So enthused we are.
I am so enthused.
I actually am. I voted for him. You didn't vote, you little pansy. Okay, well,
I voted with you.
always.
I voted for the winner.
Well, we're basically done for tonight. So we're going to sign off. Keep listening to the Cage 88.9. We have Musical Mania on right after us.
With Music Maker.
Yep. And they play stuff from musicals.
Which is grand. I love musicals. Oh.
So keep listening if that's your thing. But we're going to sign off with The Love Shack by the B-52s. We'll be here next week. Same time, same place. So, we'll see you then.